All right, how we doing? So I just thought I'd make a quick video and go over the beginning of my Overland trailer build, of my off-road teardrop build. The trailer's sitting right over here. I'm just gonna go over some quick things that I wanted to highlight in the trailer, make sure that I have, and the reason that I built it really was because I have an extra here I'm sitting in right now, and at about 5'10", it's not optimal for me to sit in, or excuse me, for me to sit and sleep in the back here, because with the seats folded down and this back seat removed, there's only about 5 feet 6 inches of space, and at 5'10", it's less than ideal. I've done it before, I've done it a couple times, it's not very comfortable. That and doing that with gear, also, there's not much space here, and if I ever have anyone with me, it really hinders us as far as how much you can bring. I have to put it on top. I can't really put it on top because right now there's rods on top, and then I have like my kayaks up there, my skis up there, depending upon the season, and then I can put it on the rear, but then the rear is usually, I like to keep that clear because you can't really walk past, and then use a cooler for that part. So it's just like a logistical thing as far as how I can carry my stuff, as well as have a nice sitting platform when I'm out camping, ski bumming, climbing, paddling, things like that. So I'm gonna build a trailer. I have a ton of time, and I have not a big budget, but that part shouldn't really hinder me that much as far as quality and how much time I can put into it. So I'm just gonna go over a couple things here so I'm using the drifter trailers as inspiration. If you're not familiar, here's a picture. Or hopefully I link back to it later on if I don't put a picture there. But drifter trailers are very basic. They're kind of like a parallelogram shape, so not a actual rectangle. It's a bit of a cut off in the front. Just some few things I want to highlight where all I want to have is a propane system. So propane for water, hot water for cooking the stove, and for a possible heater. Just two windows, one door, a rear cargo area, basically just a bed, a little bit of space for some cargo, space to cook, and that's about it. I don't really think extra over the top. I don't need to have like the whole, I don't know, some of these things have like full on like kitchens with like marble, and I don't need that. I just need something very basic, because considering I've done it in the back of the Jeep, I can do a tiny bit of a step up and have a little bit more space, a little bit more room to breathe. It's gonna have a full-size mattress inside of it, and it's gonna be pretty much that's all it is. I'm gonna walk you over to what I have here so far. It's very crude, and then go from there. All right, so here we are. Here's a side view of the trailer. So kind of a parallelogram thing going on there. Here's the inside of it so far as what I have framed here. Now the wood you see is, I guess, reclaimed is what you'd be called. I used this wood from my grandpa's old trailer. He had on this actual same trailer here, it's all plain blue. He had a hot dog cart that was very popular in our area. And I've been able to use this wood, kind of reclaim it and keep it in the family more or less, so that helps keep the cost down a lot. It's 2x3, which I wasn't really planning on using 2x3. I was going to use 2x2s, but I had it, so it made it a lot easier and kept costs down, because all I've paid for so far is just these two pieces of plywood, which are about, I want to say they're about $28 each. They're 1/2-inch plywood. I don't remember which exact kind of plywood, but anyway, so it's all framed up. So this is kind of the basicness of it. It's very simple. So I guess I'll run you through how it looks right now, what's going on here. So it's gonna be a floor here with 2-inch insulation on the floor there, and then another piece is gonna be going underneath it. So essentially like that floor there, I'm gonna have obviously a new one on a different trailer. This is just kind of the trailer I'm rolling it on, but the new one here is gonna be on the bottom there. Joseph's on top of that, then insulation goes between that, and then there's floors gonna go on top of that. And that'll be the sleeping platform. And this back part here is entirely sleeping. So essentially from like that back wall there, which will be obviously a wall there, and then there's a nail there, until another wall, which will go from here to there, which insulation is gonna be inside of this gap right here. That's all sleeping platform. So it's just about the size of a full-size mattress. It's like 1 inch too short on, 1 inch too thin on the sides, but it's not gonna make a difference. And then so a wall there. There's gonna be another wall, kind of what this one is here, just all the way up there, and then this back part here. So this is about, I think it's 18 inches from here to there. Is like the more or less the galley. I'm not 100% sure as to where I want to go with it. I'm thinking that I may, because this is kind of a slope here, so it'll slope up there. I'm thinking that I may want to put a sink in right here, but it might be difficult to have the gray water system. I'm thinking about just running the gray water just off the side and only using organic, you know, like campsites, things like that, so I don't have to worry about a tank, and having a sink here, and then, you know, maybe a little cutting board or something like that. But I also thought about just having this whole thing just be storage, but I don't want to have too much weight off the rear. So I don't know, we'll see about that. And then this whole part here is going to be a swing out, so it's going to go up this direction, so kind of up that way, with some struts from an old XJ or WJ, whatever I can find in the junkyard, to keep the cost down. And then that'll also provide a little bit of a shelter over top of head if you're cooking here or something like that. So I thought I'd bring you inside and show you the basic construction of this. So this box here, it goes all the way around, is the original box that I'd made. I think it's like 48 wide and then 75 long, like this. So from that cut there, that angle to that one angle there, and then that angle there to that angle there is 75. I think it's 75 long, and that was great, but then I forgot that because the walls are going to go up on the sides of it, it's going to end up being, so it's 48 wide, it's going to end up being, you know, a ½ inch plus 2 inches, so 2.5 inches on the inside, so 5 inches shorter overall on the inside, and so it ended up being 43 inches on the inside after insulation, all that kind of stuff. So I had to add this other 2-inch piece, which is actually an inch and a half. These are actually 1.5 inches wide, which I found out, but so it's 1.5 inches added, so 3 inches added. So I'm only going to use 2 inches to widen it so that the mattress fits and so it's a little bit more comfortable. And then I use kind of like a fake towing thing that I just did with a drill bit. I might go back and get an actual tow jig and make those clean a little bit cleaner, excuse me. So that's the frame there. But another thing I want to highlight at 5'10", I don't know if you can see it here on the side. Here, if I can show you, it says sitting height. So it's about 3 feet, just under the 3-foot mark here with my head placed at the top. There is a sitting mark. So if I were to be sitting down like crisscross applesauce, my knees are up to my chest right now. It's right about 3 feet, which is perfect. So that because I have a 4-foot roof, it should be just under 4 foot. It'll be perfect just to have a nice sit in here. It can easily fit 4 people in here, maybe two bigger guys, you know, 2 bigger people and 3 other people here. So it'll be a nice space to sit in out of the rain. Or that kind of conclude the first video here. I guess the part 1 of the trailer build. It's going to be sitting on tires similar to that of my Jeep over there, so probably around 31 or 32 inch wheels. And I'm not going to use this trailer here. It doesn't have a leaf spring system on. I'm getting a new trailer, or I might be building my own trailer, so stand by for that part. So it sits kind of like about where it is right now is the good height that I want it to be. So it's a similar height to my Jeep, and then we don't have to use the hitches kind of straight up and down. So yeah, more videos to come, but I appreciate you tuning in.